tell you, the honorable member for House of Assembly who represented the CNUD, Honorable Ntwen, won the election on the 9th of March and was declared duly elected by the returning officer. But I tell you, up till date, even after he was, they took him to tribunal and he still won, the resident electoral commission and INEC refused to give him certificate of return up till today. The law is that if a returning officer declares a candidate elected, the only option open to anybody is to go to tribunal. But this is not what INEC did. They refused to give the member House of Assembly elect at that time certificate of return till today. And when we went to tribunal, let me tell you, Mike Igini in one of his public utterances declared that any aggrieved APC person that goes to tribunal is a noisemaker.
So in order to just clarify some of those allegations made against the resident electoral commissioner, we have to just get back to him to just shed light on some of those things that have been said. Well, he joins us now via Skype this morning. Good morning, Mr. Igini. Thank you for joining us. So I had to play that again so that you could hear it, just in case you missed it. How do you respond to those allegations raised by the PDP chairman in Akwa Ibom State?
Thank you, Mr. Chamberlain and your crew there. I want to say that first, it's unfortunate where we find ourselves in our country today, that we have got to a point where institutions of state, either because of the way personnel in those have conducted themselves, citizens now don't have respect for institutions. Otherwise, Chamberlain, how can a party or a candidate who was at the tribunal, from the tribunal, we go to the Court of Appeal. And it is common knowledge to everybody that the Court of Appeal is the final court on national and state House of Assembly election matters. Chamberlain, on the 20th of November last year, the Court of Appeal Division in Calabar delivered its judgment to the effect, and I think before I give you the background, I just give you that, what the court said. The court said the third appellant, or the third appellant, clearly did not officially, that is INEC, did not, I'm reading the judgment, did not declare a winner in the election, notwithstanding the tribunal reference, unfortunately, to Exhibit 138. If the tribunal had made a return, there would not have been any need to make an order for the third respondent or a consequential order to issue a certificate to the first respondent. The third respondent, INEC, does not need to be prompted by the tribunal to do its job for which it's statutorily saddled. It knows exactly what to do in the circumstance. And finally, the court said, this issue is resolved in favor of the respondent, that is INEC. The order of the tribunal directing the third respondent, that is INEC, to issue a certificate of return to the first appellant, that is the candidate of the APC, is hereby set aside for being made without jurisdiction. This is the final pronouncement of the Court of Appeal of our fatherland. Chamberlain, I now give you the background, short background. Following the election that was conducted on the 9th of February. And on account of the massive violence, which the Court of Appeal declared, in fact, it described Esenudin in the worst adjective, in the worst epithet I've ever read in a court judgment in my entire life, as a place that was characterized with pervasive hooliganism. After that election, after the massive destruction, we only had the results for 22 polling units out of 159 polling units of Esenudi local government that is made up of 11 wards. Now, the 22 polling units, we had the results. We had the results. Meanwhile, a total of 137 polling units, election were not held, or where INEC was carrying out the process, it was disrupted. Now, even in that result, his opponent was leading. Now, we could not make a declaration because even though it's a simple majority election, and we have found that politicians have found a clever way of ensuring that, particularly in a simple majority election, what they do is to do maximum destruction of their perceived stronghold of their opponent.
Okay, Mr. Igini, if I could jump in there, in addition to your further response, could you also comment on this? They also said that whilst the court ruled at that instance that you could have conducted elections in that local government area, in fact, they went ahead and said the court didn't include Esenudin as one of the areas that you have to conduct a fresh election. So what happened in that regard?
I'm coming to that point. That is not correct. Now, on that day, the election, after all that happened, the returning officer, a professor of University of Uyo, in his own handwritten report as required, signed by him, confirmed all that our EOSC, the Election Operation Support Center, under the tracking system, have well documented as to the goings on in Esenudi local government, and wrote that he could not confirm the result that they were given to him. But in any case, at the end of the polling unit, they were documented. And so there was no way we will make a return, even though the PDP was leading. But you cannot make a return on the basis of 22 polling units. If we were biased as they have been claiming, the commission would have made a return because it's a simple majority election. We didn't make a return because you have an outstanding 137. So immediately we wrote to Abuja and attached the letter of the collation and returning officer, handwritten, confirming the unparalleled violence that took place in Esenudi. The commission was to sit on a Thursday to immediately, following our letter that was delivered on the 11th or the 10th, on the 11th, the APC candidate went to a federal high court.
Mr. Igini, we'll come back to this and let you conclude your thoughts in just a moment. Join us again. Mr. Igini, please go ahead and conclude your thoughts from the time that you said the APC candidate went to court. What happened after that?
Thank you. So they went to the federal high court after the election to seek an order to compel the commission to issue them a certificate of return, when the commission had not made any declaration whatsoever. Nobody had been returned. Because of that, our effort to go and conclude the process, because if they had allowed the process to go on, to have ended inconclusive, but because of the violence that took place. And so we're about to do that, they went to the court. When that happened, we stayed action. They realized that going to the federal high court was wrong. They withdrew from the federal high court. The commission was about to direct the state office to go and conclude the exercise. What happened again? The PDP candidate went to the tribunal. And we're surprised. How can you go to the tribunal? If you go to a tribunal, a candidate must have been returned, scores of the party must have been disclosed, and you went to tribunal. In that case, we became respondent. The APC candidate, the party itself, as the second respondent, and INEC became the third respondent. PDP again went to tribunal. They are the one starting the whole process. At the tribunal, we just filed, we didn't want to join any issues. Have you not made an official declaration of anybody on account of the fact that you had only 22 polling unit results where you have the result and you can give account of it? We filed a preliminary objection to the effect that tribunal has no jurisdiction right now. This is not the point we can come in. Now the matter was taken. The tribunal itself came to that conclusion that it had no jurisdiction. And when a court of law, a tribunal, issue of jurisdiction is raised, it brings to question the competence of the tribunal to exercise its judicial power. And true to that, the tribunal said he had no jurisdiction, given that nobody was returned, and struck out the matter, which are the only option open to a dismissal or a striking out order. The tribunal did that.
Did that then led to fresh elections?
No.
What happened finally?
Surprisingly, the same tribunal, you can get the fact where they are coming from now, why they are picking and choosing now. The same tribunal now said, after it had become functus official, you have struck out the matter for lack of want of jurisdiction. You now said you found one video. Who is the maker of that video? You know what happened? On that day, these candidates and his people invaded INEC office. They compelled the returning officer who had earlier written, who after he survived their pressure on due influence, wrote in some handwritten letter, report to the commission where they came out with a video. In that video, you will find that there was no agent of other political party in that video. They produced a video
Mike,
we sent it to the court. So
all right,
I'm
afraid, Mr. Igini,
just the final point.
I'm afraid that's how far we can go because time is we're completely out of time. But we'll get back to you if need be. Hopefully, if those explanations don't suffice, then we'll take it from there. But we do appreciate your time and giving that clarification. But if we could just drop this, Henry Nwonu sends in a comment about what's going on with the virus. Okay. Pardon me. We'll take that tomorrow, hopefully. We thank you all for your messages then. That's the show today. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Oso.
I am Kayode Okikiolu.
I am Ayo Magene. Have a wonderful day.
And I'm Yusuf. Thank you for watching.